day 12, our final piece of our story. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this whole thing, and I hope you enjoyed it. And now, without further ado, let us begin. Once again, joining Detective Tenenbaum. Coffee. I wanted coffee. It was the 12th day. So far, the count was 50 dead people, 9 dead birds, and a promise that I was yet to hear of 12 more bodies at any moment. Then there was supposed to be one final act of violence to complete this sick plan. No surprise when the call came through that 12 people, all with drums strapped over their shoulders and dressed as toy soldiers, lined up at the entrance of the mall, was discovered. All of them dead. A note found at the scene simply read, "Lightning never strikes the same place twice, but I'm not lightning. Maybe I'll see you where you didn't see me the other day. L.J." I pored over the evidence in hopes of finding some clue. The diary yielded the fact that my suspect had gotten coal for Christmas every year that he had written in the book. It also listed a lot of instances of when he had embarrassed his teachers with crude and lewd jokes. He had also poked fun at other children and was rather well versed in sexual knowledge for being such a young child. Who was this guy? I wondered for hours over this question. Where was he going to be? That's what I needed to know. Somewhere my suspect had been before. His target was obviously Santa. So where would Santa be? That he would have to unload a lot of gifts. Somewhere that my suspect had been before. And then it dawned on me, the orphanage. It had to be the orphanage. I got into my car and I headed over as fast as I could. It was only 10 o'clock that night when I got there, and I knew I would have to wait. At least I hoped so. I doubted that I could have been late, at least for this one. I pulled out my gun and flashlight and stepped out of my car into the cold to have a look around. I was searching for footprints, and sure enough, I found some. They had led to a ladder that was leaned up against the building. It was tall enough to climb to the roof, and I looked up. And suddenly I was struck from behind and fell unconscious to the cold, snow-covered ground. I awoke some time later and found that I was bound. I was also on the roof, leaning against the chimney. I felt cold and I had a splitting headache. I focused my eyes to a sound coming from the sky. It was sleigh bells. Santa. I had to warn him, but I found I was gagged as well. I struggled, but it was of no use. "Don't bother trying to get free," the voice said behind from me. "I wouldn't have invited you just to let you ruin this final moment for me. I've been waiting for this moment for a lot of years. Planning this whole thing since I was in middle school. The fat man only ever brought me coal while everyone else got new toys and games. And why? Okay, so maybe I was a little smarter than the average kid, and I knew a thing or two about sex, but did I really need to suffer for that? No. Now, oh no, now he'll pay." The bells were getting closer. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a gun. A small handgun in the hands of my suspect. And I was helpless. What could I do? I thought frantically. I thought for a terrified moment that I would actually see the murder of all that Christmas stood for. I could see the sleigh now. I could see the reindeer. And then there was or Santa himself. It was an amazing sight. I think few have ever truly gotten to witness. I thought about it as the man who brings Christmas to the world guided his sleigh over to the roof. It landed almost silently. Never a second did I think he'd miss. Santa moved quick for such a fat man and leapt from his sleigh with a giant sack slung over his shoulder. "Hey, Santa!" the man called as he stepped forward with his gun out of the shadows of the chimney. "I've been waiting for you." Santa stopped and looked at the young man. His face darkened a little to see who it was facing him. He put down his sack of toys. "Oh, why, it's little Johnny. Obviously still holding a grudge." Every year I waited for you to bring me something other than coal, but no. Santa chuckled. "Oh, you were always a bad boy. All those jokes on your teachers. All those times you tried to see little Susie's underpants. Oh, I could go on and on. I could write a list a mile long of your naughty deeds. Oh, and you're even too naughty to realize you're too naughty for Christmas toys. You deserved every piece of coal you ever got from me." Well now, Johnny spat out. He backed up and cocked his gun. "My gift for you this Christmas, fat man, is a bowl full of lead." The gun fired 3 times. I struggled like mad to get free, but stopped when I realized that Santa was fine. The bullets did nothing to him. "Ho, now, Johnny," Santa said, his face darker than I could ever imagine such a jolly man's to get. "You should know better than to fuck with me. I'm Father Christmas, bitch. I think it's time you got my present for me this year." I watched as Santa, fast as can be, reached into his sack, pulled out an old-fashioned Tommy gun, and filled Johnny full of what was later determined to be found as hard-shaped bullets made out of coal. Johnny fell dead to the ground. Santa, not skipping a beat, put the gun back in his sack and proceeded to the chimney. With a touch of his nose and a wink of his eye, I was free of my bindings. "Santa," I said, dumbfounded by what I had just witnessed. "No need to say anything," Santa said with a cheery grin. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to bring cheer to a lot of boys and girls. Ho, 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 ho!" Merry Christmas, Santa," I said as I watched the jolly fat man disappear down the chimney. Well, you know what? It was time for me to get some eggnog. A whole lot of eggnog. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much especially to some big supporters of mine through the years. Thomas, Mr. Thomas Hoover, you do not suck. You're awesome. And I appreciate every comment you ever post. Thank you, Barb, for paying attention to me and reading my shit. Thank you, everyone else out there. You guys made this Christmas for me. You guys make every Christmas for me. Thank you for reading my stories. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for checking this out. Merry Christmas, all you guys. And have a good fucking New Year. I think I'm done.